We've sat on the other side of the hiring table. We've reviewed thousands of cloud resumes, and the single most common reaction we've had to a qualified resume was, not this one. You've got the certifications. You've built the projects. You've spent months learning AWS, Azure, or GCP. So why is your inbox silent? It's because of what we never say out loud. Today, we're breaking that silence. Here are the 5 real reasons your resume gets rejected, and we'll tell you exactly what every hiring manager is actually looking for. Alright, before we jump in, you have to understand the battlefield. Your resume doesn't land on a recruiter's desk. First, it has to get past the gatekeeper, the applicant tracking system, or ATS. There's a popular myth that the ATS just rejects resumes. It doesn't. What it actually does is score and rank them. A resume that isn't perfectly optimized doesn't get rejected. It gets buried on page 10 of the results, a place no human recruiter will ever go. And for the lucky few that make it through, you then face the human filter. Research from the latter's eye tracking study found recruiters spend just 6 to 7 seconds on initial resume review, though the exact number varies. Whether it's 6 seconds or 10, the principle is the same. You don't have time to bury the lead. It's a brutal process, but once you understand the rules of the game, you can finally start to win. So, let's get into the first reason your resume is being completely ignored. The first big mistake we see is what we call the generalist trap. We know exactly what it looks like because it's right there in the summary. Cloud engineer, proficient in AWS, Azure, and GCP. You think this shows you're versatile. But here's what a recruiter thinks when they see that. Master of none. The reality is, when recruiters are hiring, they have an urgent, specific problem. They need an AWS DevOps engineer, and that's it. In my experience reviewing hundreds of cloud job requisitions, the vast majority are for a single, specific platform. Your Azure experience isn't a bonus, it's noise. Listing every platform is an immediate red flag that you have surface-level knowledge of everything, but you're not the expert the recruiter needs right now. This brings us to the most powerful insider insight, the forwarding test. Recruiters can't risk sending a generalist resume to their own boss who explicitly asked for a specialist. Their reputation is on the line. They'll just move on to the next person who looks like a perfect fit, because their resume passes the forwarding test. The fix is simple. Specialize and lead with focus. Your resume summary has to declare your specialty in the first 10 words. Instead of that generic line, rewrite it to be specific and confident. Applying for an AWS role? Try this. AWS certified cloud engineer with 4 years of experience building scalable infrastructure on EC2, S3, and Lambda. Going for an Azure position? Azure DevOps engineer specializing in CI/CD pipelines, ARM templates, and Kubernetes service. This immediately tells a recruiter, I am the person you are looking for. You've passed their first test. You can list other skills further down, but your headline has to be laser focused on the job you want. Go deep, not wide. Now, even if you fix the generalist trap, the next mistake is the one that gets 90% of resumes thrown in the no pile. The second reason your resume is failing is because it reads like a boring job description. It's a list of your responsibilities, not your results. When a recruiter sees a bullet point that starts with responsible for managing cloud infrastructure, their eyes glass over. They already know what a cloud engineer is supposed to do. They wrote the job description. What they need to know is what you actually accomplished. Just listing your duties proves you had a job, not that you were any good at it. When recruiters are scanning hundreds of resumes, they're searching for a signal, not noise. They're looking for evidence of your impact. The only way to show impact is with numbers. This is where you need to adopt the XYZ Framework. Accomplished X as measured by Y, by doing Z. Let's transform a couple of weak bullet points into achievements that would make recruiters stop and read. Weak. Managed AWS cloud resources. This is a duty. It's boring and tells recruiters nothing. Reduced monthly AWS costs by 31% by implementing granular cost monitoring, right-sizing EC2 instances, and architecting a new auto-scaling strategy. See the difference? That tells a story. It proves you don't just manage resources, you optimize them. It shows recruiters you understand the business impact of your technical work. In my experience reviewing stacks of cloud resumes, the ones with specific numbers were almost always in the yes pile. The ones without almost never made it. A 2023 ResumeGo study puts the callback rate difference at 40%, and from what we've seen, that tracks. Here's one more. Weak. Worked on the CI/CD pipeline. Engineered a new CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins and Terraform, cutting software deployment time from 4 hours to just 15 minutes. And reducing manual deployment errors by 95%. Numbers are credible. They're concrete. They immediately prove your value. Go through every single bullet point on your resume. If it doesn't have a number like a percentage, a dollar amount, a time saved, recruiters are not interested. Rewrite it until it does. But even a resume full of numbers will fail if you're making the third mistake, and this one is controversial. The third hidden reason is a secret that hiring managers won't say out loud. You've collected the certifications: AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, Solutions Architect, DevOps Engineer Pro, and yet, crickets. Here's the truth. Today, a list of certifications alone is no longer enough. It tells recruiters you're good at passing multiple choice tests, but it doesn't prove you can handle a production environment at 3 a.m. when everything is on fire. Recruiters have been burned before by paper-certified candidates who couldn't write a simple script or troubleshoot a basic networking issue. So now, recruiters often skip right past the certification section and hunt for a GitHub profile or a portfolio of projects. Certifications get you past the first HR filter, but recruiters are looking for proof of hands-on skill. The fix is to treat your projects as the main event and your certifications as the supporting act. You need a dedicated project section on your resume with links to your GitHub. And we're not talking about simple follow-along tutorial projects. Recruiters need to see that you can solve real-world problems. Here are a few ideas that will actually impress recruiters. Build a serverless web application with a full CI/CD pipeline that automatically deploys changes on a Git push. Use Terraform or CloudFormation to architect and manage a complex multi-tier network from scratch. Deploy a containerized application on Kubernetes like EKS, AKS, or GKE and set up real monitoring and logging for it. For every project, write a bullet point that explains the problem, the tech you used, and the outcome. Then link directly to the GitHub repo. An active, well-documented GitHub profile is 10 times more valuable than another certification. It proves you can do the work, not just pass the test. And speaking of doing the work, you absolutely must have these next skills on your resume. The fourth reason is a hard technical gate. As of today, if your resume has zero mention of infrastructure as code and containers, recruiters often immediately disqualify you for any mid-level or senior cloud role. The industry has moved on. Manually clicking around in the AWS or Azure console is no longer an acceptable workflow. Companies demand automation, repeatability, and scale. The absolute baseline expectation is that you can define infrastructure in code and deploy applications in containers. Hiring managers literally tell their recruiters to hit Control F and search for keywords like Terraform, CloudFormation, Kubernetes, and Docker. If those words aren't on your resume, it goes into the no pile. It's a non-negotiable skill, just like knowing how to use Git. The absence of these skills screams that you're working with outdated practices. The fix? Make these skills impossible for recruiters to miss. First, obviously, you have to learn them. Focus on Terraform first, as it's the multi-cloud standard. Then, get comfortable with Docker and Kubernetes. Once you have the skills, you need to showcase them. Create a dedicated core competencies or technical skills section right at the top of your resume and list them. Infrastructure as code, Terraform, CloudFormation, containerization and orchestration, Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, EKS. Even more important, weave them into your project and experience bullet points. This proves you haven't just learned the buzzwords, you've actually used the tools to get things done. Automated the deployment of a 3-tier web application on AWS using Terraform, creating a version-controlled infrastructure that slashed setup time by 90%. Containerized a monolithic legacy application using Docker and deployed it to a managed Kubernetes cluster, which improved reliability and enabled horizontal scaling. Not having these skills on your resume today is like a carpenter showing up without a hammer. It signals you aren't equipped for the modern job. Now for the final reason, which is the most subtle, but the one that reveals the most about a candidate's professional judgment. This final hidden reason is the most subtle, and we call it tier mismatch. Recruiters can immediately tell when a junior engineer is applying for a senior role, and it's not just the years of experience. Your resume is sending clear signals that you're aiming for the wrong target. For example, when a resume from a candidate with 1 year of experience lists architected enterprise-wide mission-critical solutions, it shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the role and makes you look naive. The word choice is a giveaway. At that level, I expect to see words like implemented, deployed, managed, or supported. The word architected implies a level of design authority and scope you likely haven't earned yet. The same is true for scope. A junior resume should talk about owning a feature or a component. A senior resume should talk about owning a system, leading a project, or mentoring junior engineers. If your bullet points don't show a progression from executing tasks to designing systems and influencing teams, applying for a senior role is a waste of your time and recruiters. The fix is to strategically target the right role and tailor your resume for that specific tier. First, be honest about your experience. If you're just starting, look for junior cloud engineer, cloud associate, or NOC engineer roles. Tailor your resume to highlight foundational skills, specific projects, and your passion for learning. That's what recruiters want to see for that level. If you have a few years of experience and are aiming for a mid-level role, your resume must show a story of progression. Recruiters need to see how you went from simply managing resources to designing and automating entire systems, and how your impact became larger over time. So there you have it, the 5 hidden reasons your resume is getting ignored, from someone who has done the ignoring. 1. The generalist trap. You're trying to be a jack of all trades instead of the specialist recruiters desperately need. 2. You're listing duties, not impact. You're not proving your value with cold, hard numbers. 3. You're stacking certs without projects, signaling you can pass tests, but maybe not build real solutions. 4. You're missing the non-negotiable baseline skills of infrastructure as code and containers. 5. You're suffering from a tier mismatch, sending signals that you don't understand the role you're applying for. The job market is tough, but it's not a black box. It's a system, and now you know the roles. Stop making these mistakes. Go back to your resume right now and apply these fixes. Transform it from a boring list of responsibilities into a powerful marketing document that screams, I deliver results. And here's a final piece of advice. Referrals are a cheat code. According to JobVite's 2023 Recruiter Nation report, a referred candidate is 4 times more likely to get a job offer. Spend 20% of your job seeking time applying online and 80% networking. Build genuine connections. Then ask for that referral. And the best part? A strong, specialized resume, the kind you're building right now, is exactly what makes that referral conversation easier to have. A lot of the conversations here are about building skills and making intentional career moves. That same theme shows up in a small shop I run with merch centered on tech culture and professional and personal growth. It's meant for people who take their work seriously but don't need to broadcast it loudly. Wearing something like that can be a small reminder of why you started. Some people find that motivating in day-to-day work life. The shop is linked in the description if you want to see what's there. Found this valuable? Watch our playlists for more practical, expert-level insights on digital transformation and leading your career into the next era of growth. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who needs a clearer strategy. Knowledge is power, and the more people who understand this, the more successful your organization will be. Simplify the tech, amplify the impact.